Hello everyone, and welcome back to Incredible Crisis! It's time to look at Tsuyoshi, who, at this point, we are now able to look at him in the story. Apparently, he decided to get shrunk by whatever the weird alien robot dude with Ririka apparently happened, so now we have to deal with this. This minigame is a little bit interesting because we start at high stress. Our goal for this is to get to the top of the hill. If we get all the way down to the bottom, we will get eaten by that antlion. This minigame is not too bad. It's pretty much like a slight rhythm game, except for the fact that you have to listen to this squeaky trumpet for the longest time. Like, come on now, I don't want to listen to this more than I really have to, especially when the antlion roars so much. And you would think that Tsuyoshi would be able to actually get up the hill a lot faster because he has some pretty agile dodge rolling. But nope. I also do like that on the can over there it does say Tondemo on it, which is the name off of the Japanese version, which we just slightly covered. So not everything needed to be translated. No way am I getting kissed by Spider-Man as a 9-year-old boy. But yeah, so apparently there was a spider web, even though there wasn't any, so difference in continuity there. But this is pretty much the same as Nerd on a Wire from Teneo's chapter. It's kind of weird that they would be recycling games, but they do a couple times. However, this one is slightly different, as this one has a slight variation in that as the meter rises, it disappears after a certain point, so you have to then judge. Maybe that's just because they made it a lot slower. Honestly, this balancing game I find to be a lot easier because of how the meter works. And I'll get into that when it becomes actually really difficult, which it kind of starts to be really quickly. So, when it turns blue, here's what happens. You do get brushed by the wind, which is now 30 to 40 centimeters instead of meters. I like that change in detail. However, if you take too long on this minigame, the spider eventually turns around. And if the spider turns all the way around, then he eats you and you are done. And you have to restart. Here is where this minigame gets really, really difficult because it's such a tiny little green space that it expects you to hit. But there is a way in order to actually make it work. So here's the problem we have here, because the wind can change so much. And, like, wind is not supposed to be a stressful thing. But it slowly changing around can be. See, like, we're already up to 2/3 of the stress meter already filled. We don't have a lot left to do. Easy now. Uh-oh. Now, shoot. Okay. Not really 2/3. It's more like it takes 4 turns for him to do it, so that would be that much. And no. We have been kissed. What was that noise? Ugh. That was a really bad noise. But yeah, that wind is kind of a big annoyance. But there is a way that makes this minigame really, really easy. And that's actually with how the meter rises. It's slightly cheating, but it's kind of clever because you're actually able to be a little bit more interactive than just holding down a button and releasing it. Also, I'm not familiar with what kind of spider that could possibly be. Just a really bad spider. Especially when they call it Kiss of the Spider-Man, so it's not even a Black Widow. Yeah, I was almost close. Now, I should remind that when you hit green, you get a free step. If you hit blue, you do go a step, but you have to do the wind. And if you hit red, then he just turns around and gets a free, almost a free tension shot at you. Which is no fun. Eh. So here is... come on. I actually should have it. Okay, here's what you're able to do. When you hold down, the meter starts going up. Follow it. Follow the screen and where that meter goes and how fast it's going with one of your fingers. It kind of works. It's kind of an interesting angle. But yeah, he gets a free turn if you get the red part. But just follow it with your finger to the best of your ability. Because if you do it well enough, you'll get that free step. And there you have it. And with that, the first chapter of Tsuyoshi is done! Tsuyoshi kind of has a good victory dance of having kicks. He's just like, yes, I did it! I don't know how I got an A+ with an average of an A or a C, but fine, let's go with it. So with that, we have covered the first chapter of every one of the family members. Where do we go from here with a tiny Tsuyoshi? Who knows? We'll see you next time. While attempting to make a dent in Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra's discography, I happened to notice a number of renditions of classic music from well-known artists. Two that I personally found interesting included Duke Ellington's In a Sentimental Mood, which was also performed with John Coltrane, and hearing that with a ska flair to it was very exciting. One person I found repeatedly, though, was the work of Dizzy Gillespie, one of the greatest trumpeters in jazz history. They've performed several of his works, including Tintindeo, Interlude, which I've also heard called Dizzy's Blues, as well as a fantastic cover of Mantica, which if you listen to the very end of that song, you can also see how well TSPO knows how to command their audience. It's great. I recommend listening to it. I've tried to provide as many links as I could for each piece, so if you are interested, they are all in the video description. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.